Hey guys, welcome back to my solo fighter Illusionist playthrough. We're going to be doing the entirety of the Umar Hills, but first I'm going to be rearranging some of my spells. I don't really need True Sight too often, I'm just going to use the casting that I get from that book, most likely. And I did memorize Protection from Magical Weapons, which I've not really used very much, because generally I want to use it as a oh shit button if Stone Skin runs out or something like that. So one of the things I'm going to do immediately is I am going to kill Drift. I'm going to do it in a rather cheap way using Time Stop. But, you know, I can never get enough of Time Stop. It's so great with the Fighter Mage just because you don't need to roll a hit check. You just automatically hit and you can do so much damage if you have improved haste on before you do it. I'm not going to really get anything out of killing Drift's party. I'm going to get some stuff that I can sell, but honestly, we're going to have more than enough money anyway, so it's not really necessary. But I figured I'd do it anyway. One of the things I forgot about is the fact that I do have a familiar, so I can get an extra 12 hit points in Shadows of Amn. And when it goes to throwing a ball, it should be 24 hit points. So that's some more hit points for us. They're not that necessary because I would say that mage defenses are so much better in the late game than having a lot of hit points. But it is useful to have anyway. And since I have the bag of holding, I don't really care about summoning it and keeping it there anyway.
Calm down, everyone, please. I assure you that everything that can be done is being done. Hello? We've had a run of killings and disappearances here as of late.
If it must be done.
You need something, stranger.
It's probably not a concern.
Weather's been lousy lately.
I don't know why I go ahead and get the reward for this quest because I'm pretty much never going to use the Horn of Valhalla again, but that gem there is to upgrade it again. I think it gives you level 9 Berserker Warrior, but obviously that's not going to cut it at this point for a summon. Basically, if I ever need a summon, then I have Mord Swords and Planetars by this point, so I really don't need anything else. As an Illusionist, unfortunately you do miss out on Animate Dead, but I don't think we've ever really needed it to this point. I got to level 7 spells so quickly that I was able to get Mord Swords even before I needed Animate Dead, really.
Let us speak and be done with this.
Yeah.
While we're over here, we decide to go and get Valgar's body for the planar sphere. That's pretty much where we're going to be going next. I'm pretty much going through the items that I'll need in order to get the Crom Fair. We're going to get the scroll to make it from the boss of the Umar Hills dungeon. There's going to be gloves that we need for it in the planar sphere. And we also need to go to the Windsphere Hills in order to get a key that will let us go to the Mind Flayer, secret Mind Flayer area under the Temple District in the sewers.
I'll see to it. It's done.
Is there something you need?
If it must be done, it's probably best left to me.
Let's do this quick and clean.
Hello there.
You need something, stranger.
Hey, not a concern. I hope this is worth it.
I drop an incendiary cloud here, but honestly it was probably pretty unnecessary to even kill these enemies here. The one thing about them is that they can drain your strength, so that can be rather annoying. But yeah, they don't actually give very good experience by this point. I could have done Umar Hills much earlier, but there is a dragon fight at the end of this.
Time is up for you, my friend.
Oh, noble friend, your grace. I am Mazzy Fenton, a valiant servant of justice and righteousness.
You'll see that I just go ahead with the riddles to begin with and just choose the right options from the get-go instead of looking around for the items that I need. But I think the if you do get them wrong, the statue will hit you with a fire trap. So if you have something like protection of fire that casts on you, you literally can just keep trying until you succeed, I believe. One of the really nice things about stuff like protection from fire is you can just walk through these traps and have no problems at all. I think it's even better if you're fighting enemies that use fire shields like quite a few mages do, because you don't take any damage from it when you hit them. If you have over 2 million average experience, I think, then there'll be a couple lich encounters in here. So I decided to use Simulacrum. One for using the Sunray on my Simulacrum, so I don't expend the use on it. And mainly because they are useful for taking down the other undead here. You'll notice that he stunned my simulacrum, but he continued to cast spells at it, and I just killed him after that point.
I'll see to it.
The other witch is over here. They come with like 4 other enemies, and they're actually pretty difficult, these guys. So being able to use the Daystar just makes them so much easier to take down. Of course, I could have used the Mace of Disruption, but honestly, I think Daystar might be better for taking these guys out.
Hold still. It's done.
We're gonna go ahead with the Shadow Dragon fight. Of course, I'm very overwhelmed for this fight and could just use something like Time Stop and then run up and hit it, but that's not a lot of fun. I end up doing that for Fur Crag. So I put up Resist Fear because this dragon can fear you. I don't think you get a save for it, so that's why I'm doing that. And I also put up Spell Immunity Abjuration because I think he uses the spell as well. But what you're going to see me do is pretty much dispel him with the Staff of the Magi to begin with, and then I take off his magic resist through things like Pure Shield and Lower Resistance, and then he puts up protection for magical weapons. So I need to hit him with a Breach after that point, but I think he has something like 60% magic resist. So a Pure Shield and a Lower Resist should pretty much take away all of his magic resist by that point. And then I hit him with a Breach, and it's pretty much as simple as hitting him after that. He doesn't have any other contingencies, and we just destroy his health bar. And he can be crit. This particular dragon at least can be crit. So we just immediately kill him in 1 round after that point. Not too difficult, I would say, and we do get a level from it as well. You can do that much earlier. As long as you have a way to dispel his protections from stuff like Pure Shield or Lower Resist, and then you have a way to resist his Level Drain, Breath, and his Fear effect, then you should be fine. I also ran out of room in terms of the gem bag, so I'll need to sell some of those off. I have a tendency to keep a hold of stuff like Rogue Stones, but I've already done the Twisted Rune, and I think the only thing that you actually need it for is upgrades in Throne of Ball to stuff like the Quivers of Plenty and stuff like that I'm never going to use anyway. So I might be hoarding stuff that I really don't need to at this point. Having a decent amount of money going into Throne of Ball is going to be good because we are going to do some of the upgrades, and we will want to buy a few of the scrolls in one of the first areas just to have them. But apart from that, I don't really see a point of me hoarding everything, but it's something that I usually do anyway, so.
I hope
Is
this
there
is worth it.
Is there something you need? Oh, this is most joyous news.
Yeah, I'll see to it. I'll see to it.
We get this encounter when we return with the silver blade. I decided to fight this one, but I did drag this guy over here a little bit so no NPCs would be in the way. Because basically what I'm going to do is use Incendiary Cloud here. So we just do an Incendiary Cloud, then I activate my Staff of the Magi to go invisible, and they literally cannot see me. This is a little bit cheesy, so... But it just wipes them out almost immediately. Not that I'm going to use the Silver Blade at all, but I may as well do that fight, I figured.
It's done. I'm there.
The rest of this episode is going to be me shopping and clearing up stuff. As you can see, I managed to fill my gem bag. But one thing you'll get after you escape from the Underdark is Rybald will offer you a special store that I'm in right now. It has some new items in it and some high-level scrolls, some of which I'm going to pick up, like Black Blade of Disaster. One of the things about the special store, though, is that everything is sold back at a much higher price. It might actually be double the price. I'm not entirely sure about that. But I'm pretty much going to sell off everything that I don't need, and I'm going to get a lot of money for it at this point. So I am going to pick up a bunch of these scrolls, level 9 scrolls and stuff. Yes, I'm going to spend like 33,000 on them. But since we're going to have so much money, I think I get like 160,000 just from selling what I have right now. It doesn't even matter. I maybe should have picked up an extra time stop scroll because I think it might be useful if I ever use a simulacrum to have it in the quick item slot, and then my simulacrum can use time stop, and then when that finishes I can use time stop after that. But I think that's maybe a bit unnecessary. But I might consider keeping a hold of high level spells that my simulacrum's never going to be able to learn, and keep them for a quick item slot usage. So the rest of this episode is just going to be me selling off a bunch of stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I'll let the video play out.
What can we do to make your dreams come true today? Peddlers, artisans, or hellspawn, I care nae a blot. All that matters is the deal, and Rybald's here to make one with you. Rybald Bardaman at your service.